quick ramble video before I go to bed. I'm just trying to drink something before I go to bed so I don't get dehydrated. Trying to, you know, take my time with it, not get all waterlogged. Anyways, I'll just throw this in here as a update to the whole Dr. Sylvie Nash Moma thing. The press conference that she was supposed to have that would have her answering everyone's questions as to why she wasted all those thousands of vaccines. She didn't show up for her own press conference. She did show up for a limited amount of questions to a news organization for like a office meeting, but like the press conference she was supposed to have, she sent one of her friends, and that friend was very dismissive in answering a lot of questions, and yeah, had trouble with her mask falling off of her nose, and she kept on talking. It was, it was a non-event, and no one really got their answers that they were looking for as far as, like, what do I do if my vaccine was invalidated because of Dr. Moma? And because, of course, the autism of the internet is now descending upon her and investigating her through the internet, they found out that, for a clinic that had just opened months prior, she applied for the PPP loans when, if you just opened your business, why might you need all those extra funds? And, with all the other things that people have been investigating about her now, I think that it's all irrelevant compared to they've now raised it to like 8,300 shots that she wasted by not storing them properly, and so like people who got those shots were invalidated, and then a bunch more that were still yet to be given got destroyed. That part is like the central thing that I think everyone should be concerned with, but people are like going off on tangents on the internet now, just investigating the hell out of that. And that's where we're at with that. In the presser that didn't happen, Dr. Moma's friend, Elizabeth Wiggins, she said that they rented out a place to do a press conference in 2 weeks. But I think the reason why they're not giving answers now is because in the Facebook page, people were actually discussing, is there going to be a class action lawsuit? So she probably lawyered up and has to shut up now. Anyways, that's 4 minutes of this video. The rest of it, I'm going to say, is going to be a response to Robert Wallace's video, Tired of This Clown World. His video, I'll break it into 3 parts. He was talking about the Micaiah Bryant shooting. He was talking about another police shooting. And he was also talking about DC statehood. So there's 3 parts to his video. As far as the Micaiah Bryant shooting, I have seen the camera angles myself, and you guys know, here I am, Agent of Doubt, world's worst social justice warrior, and I'm here to tell you, I think the cop did the right thing. Now, having seen his body cam footage, I think that his gun might have been drawn a little bit prematurely, like it was in his hands, ready to, do that, where maybe that had something to do with it. But here's the thing. milliseconds before he pulled the trigger, Micaiah Bryant's knife was lunging at the girl in the pink jumpsuit in an angle that could have hit any number of vital organs. Okay? And she was shot before she was able to land that blow. It when people slowed down that footage, I'm like, wow. He shot at exactly the right time to keep Micaiah Bryant from killing that other girl. And that is what I want police officers to do. Keep people from killing other people. So, I call it good. I was a little bit appalled by the people who were, you could hear them on the body cam footage, who were yelling at him immediately, you didn't have to shoot her. I'm like, you guys were standing right there, feet away from what happened. This, Micaiah Bryant comes down the driveway, tumbles into the girl she was chasing, trying to stab, right in front of a cop. Like, seeing the cop still is stabby. And then goes for the other girl, knowing, in that split second, there's a cop right there, and she's still stabby, not wanting to stop. I've seen the neighbor's garage angle on it with his security cam. I've seen the police body cam footage, and I just think it was a good shooting. That in that moment, he was saving the life of the woman in the pink jumpsuit. The other shooting, I have not reviewed the footage on, but, man comes at a police officer with a knife and says, "Shoot me," and the police officer says, "Drop the knife." If they get too close, that knife is a deadly weapon, and I agree with Robert Wallace on these 2 points in his video. Now, the subject of Washington, D.C., Robert Wallace is very sensitive about being called a racist, and he thinks that is the race card, and he thinks that anyone who says that people making assumptions that this is about racism, making Washington, D.C. its own state, well, then, if they're using the argument that Republicans are racists and that's why they don't want it to happen, well, that's just going to piss Robert Wallace off. So, I'll say that 200 years ago, I don't think that the Founding Fathers thought that the capital city would actually be inhabited by that many people who are BIPOC. I think they envisioned a capital city that would be uninhabited by anyone. Like, everyone would be living on the outskirts of it. So, like, the fact that there's, a million people that don't have the ability to, be represented, that's a problem. Now, we could take just the neighborhoods where people were living and reapportion them into the neighboring states, and still leave the portion of the federal district, federal land with the Capitol buildings and everything. We could do that, but you know what that would do? Undo the gerrymandering in the neighboring states. So they probably did a lot of work of pushing the black people into the Capitol federal district. They did a lot to keep them from being able to have affordable housing outside of those districts and to want to assimilate them back, move the border a little bit, that's just going to fuck with their gerrymandering because, we're trying to hold on to our racism. So, there is a racist tone to it, but in Robert Wallace's video, he says that he reshot this video because it was worse before. And at around 10:35 in his video, he says, up is down in this world, left is right, things that aren't racist are being called racist. And then he says, male is female. And for like the whole video, 14 minutes of a video, Robert Wallace is more concerned about like not being called a racist. And then for just that 1 second he slips up and he's transphobic. And he doesn't realize, like, there's no self-awareness of what he just did there. Like, we know that he just has that transphobia in him where he's upset that, people are choosing to be a different walk of life than they were assigned at birth. And so that's part of the clown world that he's pointing at. He's like, I know that I'm right. I know that I'm right. And now they're trying to tell me that male is female. You're just, betraying your transphobia and not having any self-awareness of it. All the while, the whole video being afraid of being called a racist. If you concentrate too much on plugging one hole in the dike, you might miss the other ones that you have. Basically, there's an intersectionality to all of these isms. If you're racist, you are more likely to be transphobic and homophobic and just a horrible person sometimes. It's just all of it fits together. It's all connected. And Robert Wallace today was my puzzle glue for it. That's it for this ramble. We're only 13 minutes in, but I'm going to hit the hay. Talk to you guys later.